National Mall. Tonight we have learned what he allegedly said following his arrest. So was this politically motivated? Here's Pierre Thomas tonight.
Tonight, top law enforcement officials identifying the suspect in a National Mall shootout that sent tourists and reporters running as 45-year-old Michael Marks, who had a Texas driver's license. D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro sitting down exclusively with ABC News, officially confirming the suspect's identity and saying that charges are imminent.
The complaint is being drawn right now. He is charged and will be charged with an assault on a federal officer and discharging a firearm during a crime of violence.
Any sense of why he was in Washington? Is any sense that this is politically motivated?
Well, one of the things that he said on the way to the hospital was F the White House and kill me, kill me, kill me 3 times. But he was very clear, F the White House.
Law enforcement sources say investigators have executed search warrants on his phone and other devices. On Monday afternoon, undercover Secret Service agents and officers noticing a suspect with a print of what appeared to be a firearm. The agents calling for backup. The suspect drawing a handgun and opening fire. Authorities believe he hit a teenage bystander. The shooter hit several times as officers returned fire. Tourists shaken.
And then we hear shots over here. I'm a little bit scared.
Washington has remained on the edge since the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Cole Allen seen on surveillance allegedly rushing past the magnetometer. Today, Allen indicted by a grand jury. He now faces an additional charge of assaulting an officer with a deadly weapon.
Does the evidence, to your satisfaction, prove that he fired the shot that injured the Secret Service officer?
Of that, I have no doubt. Of that, the grand jury agreed.
David, the judge making it clear that she believes that Cole Allen shot that Secret Service.
Now, I disagree with the judge there because could we find out what caliber of gun that was shot? Because the last time I checked it, I could have swore they told us that it was he had buckshots in his shotgun. So I'm still not buying that story there. Something's not adding up right there. So they got this. The latest shooter who was shooting outside the White House, he's from Texas. His name is Michael Marks, like Karl Marx, maybe a descendant of Karl Marx. He's 45. They don't say where he worked at or anything like that. They was trying to even hide that. So we do have some information on him now. Lucky that. I want to get to a couple of things. First of all, I got a question about the war. I'm for you taking out Iran. I'm 100% for you take them out. The problem I have is that if we've been negotiating this long, because, Iran has a bad habit of negotiation with bad intent. Now, I know with some of those, the new, quote, non-MAGA folks, the Marjorie Taylor Greene, the Candace. Oh, we got a little on Candace, too. She's whining now because people are going after her. That's what you've been doing. But here you have, if you're telling me that you're negotiating with Iran, who's been negotiating technically for the last 20 or 30 years, they've never negotiated in good faith. Even if you come to an agreement with the Iranians, who's to say that they're going to abide by the damn deal? They don't want to give up those nuclear weapons. And I saw, damn it, I should have got that clip. I'm going to go get it, though, because I saw a clip. It was on CNN. I forgot the little host name. The host over at CNN, the black lady, I can't remember her damn name. Anyway, Gabby, I think, something like that. She was asking Van Jones, why are we so, if we're asking Iran not to have nuclear weapons, has Israel said what the tipping point is for them using their nuclear weapons? Well, Israel's been having nuclear weapons and they ain't used them yet. That's the difference. If the Iranians had, they'd already used it. Israel's been at war with these people for a while and they've not used nuclear weapons yet. But that's what the communists are concerned about, nuclear weapons. My concern is that even if we cut a deal at this point with the Iranians, who's to say that they're going to abide by the damn deal? I can't believe we can actually trust them at this point. If I got to negotiate with somebody, you've destroyed their army, their navy, you've killed 2 sets of their leader. If the little gay son is alive, he's got 1 leg and he's completely out of it, if he's not already dead. So tell me, how is it possible that you people think you can trust any deal you cut with them? Because now they're pretending like they're talking to somebody and they're trying to be very secretive, because once we give them the deal, they'll say stuff like they have to go run it through their so-called leader, but we don't know who the damn leader is. And the problem with not knowing who the leader is, and they don't want to go talk to the leader because they know we're watching. If they go over and find and go to the location that, quote, the leader is at, it may get blowed up. I say just blow it up. I'm not a war hawk or anything like this, but this is so-called negotiation. This is not how you negotiate. This is not the art of the deal, because I can understand the president don't want to be hasty. Most of that, I think, is most people concerned with midterms, but either we're going to finish the job or we're not going to finish the job. Don't care about what everybody else is getting upset about. But if they're really a threat and you really think they want to kill us, I don't understand even negotiate with them anyway, because I don't think they're going to give up the nuclear. I think you have to take it, because they got a high propensity for pain, but the universal language is pain. You put enough pain on them, they'll come up with anything. You have not put enough pain on them yet. Now, they don't care about their people suffering. That's one thing we know for a fact. Kind of like the Democrats and half of the Republicans don't really care about the American people suffering. And I'm going to prove that to you, because I'm sure you've seen it by now. This Pramila Jayapal, whatever the hell her name is, she was born in India. This woman admitted now that she's actually going over and trying to get oil over to Cuba. Don't we have an embargo on Cuba? She's openly admitting to treason, I guess. Listen to this heifer.
January, Trump issued an executive order threatening tariffs on any country supplying fuel to Cuba. This was this January, just a few months ago. And oil shipments from Venezuela, that's where Cuba had been getting its oil, were halted after the U.S. operations to kidnap Nicolas Maduro. Since January, only 1 Russian tanker of oil has made it to Cuba. In fact, it landed just a couple of days before I landed. And 1 tanker has enough oil basically for 10 to 14 days of Cuba's oil needs. So it's a very limited amount of time. Now, Russia has said they're going to send another tanker. I was in conversations with the ambassadors from Mexico and some other places, and I know other countries in Latin America are trying to figure out how to get oil there. But it is a crisis beyond imagination. Just this past Friday, on May 1st, Trump signed a broad executive order that widens sanctions and allows for new penalties, similar to what we have for Iran and Russia, against foreign banks and firms that are dealing with Cuba, and it also reinforces the ban on U.S. tourism. I have called these sanctions an economic bombing of the infrastructure of Cuba. It is illegal. It is against the war. We've been talking about this in Iran, obviously, to bomb the infrastructure of any country. That is against international law. This is essentially doing the same thing. It is bombing the infrastructure of Cuba with economic sanctions that essentially ensure that the infrastructure collapses.
So this heifer here is admitting to trying to backdoor to go over to help Cuba. I'm a little confused on what even the definition of treason is anymore. Because I went over and looked at Article 3, Section 3 of the U.S. Constitution. It says treason against the United States shall consist only in leaving war against them or in adhering to their enemies. Giving them aid and comfort. What else could we call this? I mean, technically speaking, just about half of the Republicans and all the Democrats have been doing this with China, Ukraine, and all the other countries that's against us. When Barack Obama and Joe Biden gave plane loads of cash to Iran, to me, technically, they were aiding and comfort our enemies there who had already killed some of our soldiers. So I don't understand what the definition of, what is it? Is there even a definition? Can you even commit treason? Now, when they want to say you're January the 6th, now that's treason to them. But anything else is not treason. Anything we do is treason. See if I can get this. If I can get this damn thing. Why is my thing not moving? I want to show you the members, because I want to show you the members. Now, this Indian-born woman here, she's with the Congressional Progressive Caucus. The name speaks for itself. I want to show you some pictures of who in that. I'm going to specifically want to name some of the ones who is in this particular caucus. It's very progressive. Very progressive. That's all you need to know. Let me see if I can pull up. I want to go over and share this because I specifically, I want to make a reference to the people. Now, you can look at the picture right here. Most of them don't even look American. Now, I know that's going to seem like something offensive to someone because I said they don't look like Americans. Well, I don't give a damn if you're offended by that, because these are the folks who are adamant against you and I. They don't even seem like they enjoy America. But so I went and looked up some of them, and like, okay, this woman here, the one just get this treasonous piece of trash here, she was born in India. The deputy chair is Ilhan Omar. She's born in Somalia. So I'm sorry, this woman, she's not, she used to be the chair, this Pramila, I think that's how you pronounce her name. But the chairperson name is Greg Caesar. He's an anchor baby from Mexico who migrated over here. The whip at this particular committee, his name is Jesus, because I don't call him Jesus, Garcia. He's out of Illinois. He was born in Durango, Mexico. You got Ted Lieu, who's in that particular committee. He was born in Taiwan. This Sherlander, the guy from Michigan, who looks like some kind of cartoon character, I think that's how you pronounce his name, S-H-R-I. He was born in India. Rashid Tlaib, however you say her name, she's an anchor baby from Palestine. See, the problem is we got all these damn foreigners in these damn committees dictating things to us, and they're not even from this country. They don't even love this country. Their loyalty is more to the country they came for. Ilhan Omar will tell you her loyalty is to Somalia. Rashida will tell you her loyalty is to the Palestinian. This Sharenka fella from India, he don't even know his loyalty to because he looked like a joke. Ted Lieu, Taiwan, he's loyal to them. Greg Caesar, this anchor baby from Mexico, he's loyal to Mexico. So why are we electing people who's not even loyal? I'm sick of this. This is a melting pot. You know, the problem with the whole concept of a melting pot, show me in the Constitution where they say a melting pot. Because since you want to do a melting pot, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to get 50 different flavors of manure. I'm going to have giraffe manure, turtle manure, even throw some fish manure in there, donkey manure. I'm going to get like 50 different, and I'm going to put it in a pot. I'm going to call it a melting pot. And then I'm going to bake you a cake. And I'm going to see how much you like this melting pot. Everybody's acting as if diversity means that it's got to be good because it's diverse. Oh, this was so diverse. I don't give a damn about diversity. Every time you say diverse doesn't mean that it's actually good. But see, these people want you to believe if you say diverse, it is good. Cherish 2700 just hit us up. God bless you, that Cherish. Thank you so much, my dear. Now, they want you to believe, Cherish, if I told you that I was going to offer you 50 different flavors of manure, and we're going to serve it, we're going to call it caviar. I don't think Cherish would say that sounds scrumptious. But see, this is what they're doing to us. They tell you that if it's called a melting pot, it's got to be good. We got all these damn foreigners who's in these different committees, and they work day in and day out trying to destroy us. They're not working. She's all in Cuba trying to make sure Cuba has oil. Skirt. Hold on a minute. Pump the brakes. Just got an idea. Brainstorming. I thought oil was bad. Didn't you tell me oil was destroying the Mother Earth? This is what the environmentalists tell you. Now, here they are telling you that Cuba cannot function without oil. That is awfully interesting. So all is bad, but we want to give it to Cuba, a communist dictator over in Cuba. You see how these people have no regard for the American way? But see, you got Marjorie Taylor Greene, Candace Tucker. They're worrying about everything else. All our enemies is right here. They said Donald Trump is the enemy. These people are upset because embargoes was put on Cuba. Venezuela was getting Cuba some oil. You see how this is working? President Trump took out Venezuela. China and Russia and Cuba, all three were getting oil from Venezuela. Boom, chopped the head of the snake off. And then most of them tried getting their oil from Iran. Went over, dropped the bomb. Ain't nobody getting oil over there either. So Russia, Cuba, and China is suffering now. And see, these people who say they don't want no kings, they want the kings of Russia, the kings of China, and the kings of Cuba to have more oil. But oil is bad. Donald Trump is fighting for Mother Earth because he's stopping the oil flow. These people, they can't make their mind up. But see, in I think it's in California that they actually get the oil out the ground. And I forgot what country they sent it to because you got to refine it. We need more refinery plants over here. We got quite a bit of them in Texas. We can use some more because when you get the oil out the ground, the oil is not ready to go in your car. It has to be refined. Petroleum. And here's another kicker. Not only does the oil has to be refined, if we cut out oil, all countries will go belly up because oil is probably one of the most, if not the most valuable commodity. Every country needs oil. And these left-wing lunatics, these tree-hugging lunatics are telling you how bad oil is for the environment. So you got these people who are in this particular committee, Deputy Chair Ilhan Omar, born in Somalia, the chair, Greg Cesar, anchor baby from Mexico. The whip is Jesus Chug, I think is his nickname, Garcia out of Illinois, born in Durango, Mexico. This Sri Lanka looking fella, born in India, Rashid Tlaib, anchor baby from Palestine. We got a bunch of foreigners dictating our policies and they hate the damn country. If you're trying to destroy your country, just all you have to do is look at this. This Pramila woman who went over and visited Cuba because they want to help Cuba. All the Americans, they say, are suffering. But they're busy about Ukraine. They're busy about Iran, the Palestinians, Cuba now. They're concerned about every damn country but the American people. Because this is what happens when a country goes in and starts bringing all of these foreigners over. See, one thing was good about the Roman Empire. Anybody just can come in and be Roman. But we allow anybody, this is what the country was built in. No, that used to be a good thing because these people would swear allegiance to America. We got a bunch of foreigners coming over here, infiltrating our system, milking our system, destroying our system. Just for instance, if you live in Minnesota, say you go to work every damn day, you bust your behind and go to work every freaking day, and you have to struggle to pay bills, keep your lights on, feed the kids and everything else. Some filthy Somalian comes over, been here 2 years, driving a freaking Tesla, may even be driving a Lamborghini, blinging on you, Rolex watch and everything. They're getting pampered. They ain't straining for nothing because they don't got to go to work. You got to bust your behind, been over here all your life, your grandparents from here, your great-grandparents from here. You're struggling. 85% of all Somalians in Minnesota are freaking on some kind of welfare. How is that a good thing? How is it possible? And then we had, that Brooke lady was trying to get these states to come up with the list of who's on welfare and SNAP and all these programs. They're suing so we don't have to bring this particular issues up. Proving again, these people are not concerned about stopping fraud. As a matter of fact, they want to do everything they can to protect the fraudsters. I had, it was RFK. He was on here and he said, let me see if I got that clip. The Biden administration was telling them, don't even look for fraud. We want as many people to be perpetrating fraud on the country.
Partisan person, but one of the things that I found out from people in my agency was they were ordered by the Biden White House not to do program integrity. In other words, not to enforce against fraud. And they said they were told, we want to focus on only enrollment and getting more and more people into the system.
Did you hear that? They were told, don't even look for fraud. If somebody is frauding the damn country, you just ignore that. Give it to them. But these are the same people tell you to pay your fair share. So if you earn some money, the IRS will penalize you for money you actually earn. But the money that's being stolen in fraud, we're not going to even investigate that. You see how this works? If you're going to do that, anybody who makes money, if they don't pay tax, leave them alone. At least they earn the money. You got people that didn't earn a damn thing and they're ripping off the country. And the Biden administration, the Obama administration, none of them cares. The Democrats have set up this system to rip off the American people. I got 2 clips of the Brooke lady, and she's talking about how they're resisting on the fraud.
In years, the food stamp program grew by 40%. Of course, they're buying votes, right? They're hoping that using all of this government money will create more voters for them, illegal.
The food, it grew by 40%. 40.
And legal. And that's why they're fighting so hard against us right now to keep this data from coming in so that we can really fix the program. But we're going to do it. We're making a lot of progress. And I'm really grateful to the USDA team. It's our inspector general at USDA that has really found those 893 that have been arrested, that are going to trial, that are going to jail. And yeah.
Here's another clip of
America saying fraud and abuse in the SNAP program, the food stamp program, will end. And please be our partner in this. 29 states responded. All but 2 were, of course, red states, Republican governors, and they said, yes, we are in. And within that data dump, billions of pieces of data that we're now sharing with the states, we found 500,000 people getting more than one benefit illegally. We found 244,000 dead people. Laura, this is just the red states. In that time, we have now arrested.
Wait a minute.
It's just the red states.
Wait a minute. How many dead people? Wait a minute. Let me go back. How many dead people did she say?
We found 500,000 people getting more than one benefit illegally. We found 244,000 dead people. Laura, this
is crazy. This really is insane. 240,000 dead people. This is not even all the states. It's more than that. 500,000 people getting double pay. They don't have to go to work. You got to get up every damn morning, or you retired. They want to take your money. They want to charge you taxes until you die on your house, or your property. You leave it to somebody, they want to charge some more taxes. But the illegals come over here, and the fraudsters who ripping off the systems, they said, let them have it. Just let them have whatever they want.
It's just the red states. In that time, we
God.
have now arrested, it's just the red states. We have now arrested 895 different people in the last year for illegally using the food stamp system. And now, of course, we're talking about what is happening with that.
Remember, I told you, it's 3 people who's driving Rolls Royces getting SNAP. About 2,000, a little bit over 2,000 driving Teslas getting SNAP. About 140, I think it was actually driving Land Rovers. These people driving the cream of the crop vehicles, Gucci down, Louis Vuitton. They in here with all this fraud and telling you need to pay your fair share. And what they're saying is, we don't want to stop it.
Money. So we're making a lot of progress. Of course, the blue states are suing us to say that they don't have to share that data.
When does it come that these people be held accountable, though? Because how can a state sue you to stop you from stopping fraud? It doesn't even make any sense to me. They shouldn't have a choice of whether they want to turn over the information or not. So just, if you were stealing from a company and money was coming up missing, I guarantee they would shut it down. But they say, don't even sweat it. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. We need to let them steal. They have a right to steal your money.
But the corruption is absolutely astounding. The vice president has now leaned in with his fraud task force. We are now on supercharged. Not that we weren't before, but now.
I had a clip of J.D. Vance talking about this too.
The leader of the fraud task force in Washington. And people have asked me, is that a hard job? And I say, well, let me think. Finding fraud in the federal government, it's kind of like fishing in a barrel with dynamite. Every week, I get a report from the task force. You know, we have our weekly meeting, and I am shocked every single day by the things that we find. Just one of the all-stars on our fraud task force is our great Agriculture Secretary, Brooke Rollins. And Brooke has found out that we've got 355,000 people on SNAP benefits receiving double benefits.
It's 500,000 now, buddy.
We've got 186,000 dead people.
It's 246,000 dead people
getting SNAP benefits. 186,000 dead Americans getting food stamps right now.
So what, you racist? It's racism to stop them from stealing from you. If you stop them from stealing, you're racist. That's what you are, J.D. Vance. Racist, trying to stop them from stealing. Now, here's the kicker. Even if they try to go to race court, there's more whites on food stamps than it is minorities. So why are they even trying to protest that you can't go with the race card? They want people to be able to steal. That's what they want.
Now, I know the fake news media is going to say that the big headline from this speech is J.D. Vance proposes that we take away food stamps. That's what they're going to say. I actually think that we should take food stamps away from dead people. I'm guilty of that. I think that's a reasonable thing.
Racist, you want to take the food stamps for dead people. Dead people got to eat too. I mean, you got to be a racist trying to take these stamps from the dead people. I don't think it's fair. My man, Randall of Amoa, he's a monthly supporter for thank you. I appreciate you, Randall Love. And excuse me, Rebecca Faulkner also, who is a monthly supporter. God bless you, Rebecca. Thank you so much, my dear. Now, these people are upset because you're exposing fraud. They don't want the fraud exposed. They're offended that you're trying to expose it. They are so offended that you're trying to expose the fraud. Kimberly hit us up. Did Kimberly go to bed? Yes, she said she was on her way to bed. She said she loves all the Common Sense Nation. She's out of here. Well, thank you so much, Miss Kimberly. Now, did you see Barack Obama? He was on the Stephen Colbert show. It was like a bro fest or something, smooging. And Stephen Colbert said he wanted to know if he can run for to be president. Your show's ratings suck anyway. Hell is you talking about? Now, I'm going to tell you the real reason they actually can't run a good candidate. They're doing so bad now with the candidates that they got there. Kamala Harris and Gavin Newsom maybe leading in the polls for the president. I mean, you got, that's really sad. It's them, you two. It's so bad now. Barack Obama had became obsolete. It's so bad now they're recycling this clown with the fake birth certificate. But there's a fella running down in Texas. I'm embarrassed he's from Texas too. I want you to listen to this little James fella. He made Pete Buttigieg, Pete Buttigieg. He made Pete Buttigieg look masculine. I mean, listen to this question when they ask
something that you love that's not family.
Something that you love that's not family is the question. Look how he looking. And what's up with that? He looked like a cult member or something. I'm getting like Jim Jones vibes or something, you know. Don't he supposed to be a preacher or something? That's a joke. Listen to something that's dear to his heart.
Something that you love that's not family or friends.
I love, I'm just saying this because it's on my mind, the trans children who showed up yesterday at the state capitol to advocate for their humanity. They shouldn't have to, but it was an inspiration to watch.
This is a sick mofo right here. One of the things that's dear to his heart, he thinks he really loves, is the trans children. I need to check his devices. I need to check your computer and your phone because you definitely are a suspect. He loves the trans children. He loves mutilating the children. That's technically what he's saying. Gender affirming care. It's a sick little fella. Now, before we get to Barack Obama, because I got some on Candace Owens too, because she was whining here. Don't whine now, girl. You just started open up a can of worms. You gotta be, if you pray for the rain, you gotta deal with the mudslide too. You pray for rain, the mudslide is coming now. Now, I want to play a clip of my brother Hamp video. Let me see if I can play it right here. All right, here it is.
Hello, this is Hamp Redmond, running for South Carolina District 2, U.S. House of Representatives. So, a few nights ago, one of the leaders of the local GOPs in the county over called me and asked me was I coming over to speak at their next meeting in 2 weeks. And I told him yes, I would be there. And he asked me not to say some of the things I said at one of the STOP meetings I was at. And I told him, I said, sir, that's what's wrong with government now. That's why Joe Wilson's in there now, because people won't tell the truth. If you want me to speak at your meeting, I'm going to have to speak the truth. I'm not backing off of the truth. It would be different if I said something that wasn't a fact. And the fact that he's useless as a congressman is not my fault. That's the reason I'm running. So we can do away with people like that. And the people keep voting him in with cronyism and nepotism. One just means a family affair, and the other one means a friend affair, basically is what those two things mean. And it's all a bunch of BS. And I'm the man for you to vote in to eliminate all that. So if it's truth, I'm not going to avoid saying it. I might say it in a different manner, but you don't need to be telling me what I can and can't say when I get on the podium, because when I get to Washington, it's going to be the same way. I'm not biting my tongue. That's the reason I'm running, so we can have some truth in there. Somebody with some backbone. But anyway, I'm asking you for your vote on June the 9th and help me retire the long-time incumbent. Thank you in advance.
As Brother Hamp asking, if you're down in South Carolina, he's asking District 2, he's asking for your vote. If you're dead, you still can vote. Only if you're Democrat, usually, because they get the dead people only vote for Democrats. They got them getting SNAP benefits and they're dead. They voting in here dead. He said, I think Democrats get smart after they die, huh? Seems like they get a little smart after they die, but I want to replay this clip of this woman, then we're going to move to Barack Obama.
January, Trump issued an executive order threatening tariffs on any country supplying fuel to Cuba. This was this January, just a few months ago. And oil shipments from Venezuela, that's where Cuba had been getting its oil, were halted after the U.S. operations to kidnap Nicolas Maduro. Since January, only one Russian tanker of oil has made it to Cuba. In fact, it landed just a couple of days before I landed. And one tanker has enough oil basically for 10 to 14 days of Cuba's oil needs. So it's a very limited amount of time. Now, Russia has said they're going to send another tanker. I was in conversations with the ambassadors from Mexico and some other places, and I know other countries in Latin America are trying to figure out how to get oil there. But it is a crisis beyond imagination. Just this past Friday, on May 1st, Trump signed a broad executive order that widens sanctions and allows for new penalties similar to what we have for Iran and Russia against foreign banks and firms that are dealing with Cuba. And it also reinforces the ban on.
Wait a minute, that don't sound like it was another one too. Hold on a minute, let me see something. Let me see the other one that she. What did I do with? Oh, by the way, the Minnesota Democrats blocked fraud committee subpoena into Ilhan Omar involvement with the $250 million COVID scam. I don't know how they can just block it. How is it possible that these people block stuff when you're trying to expose the fraud? I don't understand how they just can say we want to block it. So Democrats just practically they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Seem like to me. Let me see if I got this other one here. Cause she said something else in the other clip. I don't think that's the one I was looking for. Let me see here. Let me see. See if is that the same one? Okay, this is the one I want. Let me get over here, because this is the one she's admitting that she's been talking to foreign entities, which to me is a case of treason. So I don't understand why she's not being charged with treason. This is this nutty. She's born in India. We need to ship her back to India.
In January, Trump issued an executive order threatening tariffs on any country supplying fuel to Cuba. This was this January, just a few months ago. And oil shipments from Venezuela, that's where Cuba had been getting its oil, were halted after the U.S. operations to kidnap Nicolas Maduro. Since January, only one Russian tanker of oil has made it to Cuba.
Why would you want Russia? I thought Russia was bad. You see how these people are? All this time, they've been telling you Russia was the devil. Now she wants more Russian ships to ship oil, which oil is bad for Mother Earth too. Now they're for oil. They're for Russia now. They was against kings, but they now want a dictator from Cuba. Make it make sense.
In fact, it landed just a couple of days before I landed. And one tanker has enough oil basically for 10 to 14 days of Cuba's oil needs. So it's a very limited amount of time. Now, Russia has said they're going to send another tanker. I was in conversations with the ambassadors from Mexico and some other places.
She's talking to the ambassadors from Mexico. She says Russia's going to send some more. That's interesting. Didn't we say Russia was bad? Now she's okay for Russia to do business with Cuba. Oh, man, you can't make this up. These people, they don't have any principles. All they do is Whichever way will stop the American people from being blessed in any kind of way, that's what they're for.
Places, and I know other countries in Latin America are trying to figure out how to get oil there, but it is a crisis beyond imagination. Just this past Friday, on May 1st, Trump signed a broad executive order that widens sanctions and allows for new penalties.
She needs to go back to India.
Similar to what we have for Iran and Russia against foreign banks and firms that are dealing with Cuba, and it also reinforces the ban on U.S. tourism. I have called these sanctions an economic bombing of the infrastructure of Cuba. It is illegal. It is against the war. We've been talking about this in Iran, obviously, to bomb the infrastructure of any country. That is against international law. This is essentially doing the same thing. It is bombing the infrastructure of Cuba.
This just shows you how crazy these people really are. Now, we had, there were some Republicans who were anti-Trump and they lost. And Pete Buttigieg and the Circleback girl was talking about that. And they're upset. According to Marjorie Taylor Greene, MAGA was dead. So you got to make your mind up. Which one is it? So Donald Trump endorsed people and they won. I thought, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, is dead. Let's see what Pete Buttigieg grew him a beard and everything. He's trying to look like a man.
We've talked before about sort of what politics could be, what we all hope it will be again. I mean, these Republicans in Indiana, you probably don't agree with them on much. I don't agree with them on much in terms of their policies, but they knew what was coming if they stood up to Trump. They stood up to him anyways. They decided
No, because they're liberals.
Some of them, at least, that there are worse things than losing an election. I just wonder.
That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene dropped out. She didn't want to lose. Now she's talking about she's going to start a new movement. Girl, nobody ain't following you. Well, I take that back. So a couple fellas who may want to get you to Monica Lewinsky, they may follow you.
How different you think our country and our politics could be if more Republicans had that in them. And do you think, you've been traveling out there and the country, that there are more of them out there?
I do. I mean, I see it everywhere I go. We have been going to a lot of more conservative areas. We did a town hall in Oklahoma. It was great. We had about 2,000 people come out. I was in Marjorie Taylor.
You think you're running for president? Marjorie Taylor Greene came?
Greene's old district, where we had hundreds of people come out, and the Democratic candidate overperformed by about 25 points. Headed to Montana.
This boy got as much chance of being president as I do. And I know damn well they're not electing me to be president. But this boy, you can forget about it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Reason you're not going to win. First of all, no white straight man is going to vote for you. Now, I'm not talking about these sit-down and T-tiers on the Democrat side. You're going to need a whole bunch of white straight Christian men to vote for you, and that ain't happening. Secondly, you're going to need the blacks. And I've been talking about the black men and the black women. You saw how you was polling? You polling at about 3% from blacks. That's y'all voting base right there. How in the hell you gonna win anything? So you got Kamala Harris, and you got Gavin Newsom, and they got Pete Buttigieg. Those are your top candidates. Y'all in bad shape, boy. Ilhan Omar is on a congressional committee as the deputy chair, and she done more fraud than the law allowed. She went in, the IRS let her go in after she submitted documents that the company that her husband had was worth about $30 or so million. Now she said, oh, it was an error. Let me just change it up. We're not worth about $100,000. Where'd the money go? We didn't make any. And nobody's went to jail yet. Peter, you can give it up, boy. You don't stand a snowball's chance in the hell of being elected as the president. They would have to cheat worse than they treated against Joe Biden in order for Petey to win anything. You can forget about it. You don't stand a chance. There's a better chance of let's see. There's a better chance of Ed the Talking Horse to be president than you. You don't have a snowball's chance in hell, boy. There ain't no possibility of you winning. Now, I did want to get to Barack Obama because Barack Obama was on the Stephen Colbert show, and as per usual, he's making a fool of himself. Which one I want to do first? Oh, you gotta love this. This is Barack Obama saying that Donald Trump is using the DOJ to prosecute his enemies.
Now that you're no longer in office, what powers do you believe the president should not have?
Well, there are a couple that I followed even though they weren't law. And I want us, we're going to have to do some work to return to this basic norm, and we probably now have to codify it. The White House shouldn't be able to direct the Attorney General to go around prosecuting whoever the president wants.
Can you believe this? The president shouldn't tell the Attorney General to prosecute people. Well, you sick the dog. When you was your first term, you sick the IRS on the Tea Party. You practically sick the FBI and the DOJ on everybody. And then the second term, when you was about to get out of office, you sick the FBI and the DOJ on Donald Trump. When you knew he was going to run again, when he was out of office, you sicked him on again. Merrick Garland, they ran up in his house, said you can use deadly force if anybody tries to stop you. And now he says with a straight face, he don't think that it should be politicized. 4 indictments on Donald Trump. One that was a misdemeanor, upgraded the misdemeanor to a felony, and used multiple choices with the jurors so they can convict Donald Trump. Make it make sense, please. And this clown, this sausage hider gets on here and tell you that he's opposed to that.
Because technically it's under the executive branch.
Technically,
the norm is that it's independent.
The idea is that the Attorney General is the people's lawyer. It's not the president's consigliere.
Right, even when it's Bobby Kennedy.
See, this is a bro fest. No real substance about this. The whole time since Donald Trump came down the damn escalators, his first administration, y'all tried to sabotage that. He came up with Russian collusion. Cheated on him the second time, and then after he got out of office, sicked the hounds on him again, and now he's talking about making sure that the DOJ is not used in an improper way. You can't even make this up. And they look at, he think he's making sense, and he think his dumb followers will listen to what he's saying. That's right. That's right. Obama was never for that. His whole administration was built on using the government to intimidate people. That's what he did the whole damn time.
And so two of the core principles of a democracy, we can
you believe this clown
survive a lot. Bad policy, funky elections. There's a bunch.
You damn right about funky elections.
Of stuff that we can overcome. We can't overcome.
Everybody keep pretending like Barack Obama is so articulate. Even with set up questions in a friendly interview, he stutters a lot because he don't have any core beliefs. His only core belief is being a sausage hider. That's his core belief. Now, some people don't like me calling. I was riding today and I heard Sean Hannity had Bill O'Reilly on his show. And Bill O'Reilly was saying, and Sean Hannity was saying that I think Michelle Obama said something to the effect that Barack Obama need to leave politics alone and stay at home more. Now, I didn't hear her say it, but I think I caught the tail end of Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly. And Bill O'Reilly and Sean Hannity, especially Bill O'Reilly, says they don't get in the gutter and do name calling, and that's how they stayed in the business so long. Well, Bill O'Reilly, you got fired off Fox News, so they ain't reason you in the business so long. Furthermore, the only reason Donald Trump is the president is because he did do name calling. It can't work for everybody. That ain't the tactic for everybody, But the reason Donald Trump is the president is because he went after everybody. He started attacking Jeb Bush, Mr. Low Energy. He told Rand Paul that there's a lot of material there, but he's not going to use it on him. If Donald Trump had played the same kind of politics that everybody else played, he would have never won the nomination. Now, I know that's hard for people to swallow that Donald Trump name called and he got elected name calling. Remember when Meg Kelly did the gotcha moment about fat Rosie O'Donnell? And he said that only Rosie O'Donnell is classic. So no other president would did that. Donald Trump. Now, I can understand, hey, if that's not Bill O'Reilly's thing, that's fine. That's not Sean Hannity's thing, that's fine. Everybody can't be the same thing. Like your ear cannot say, I'm going to start being your mouth. Your legs can't say, I'm going to start being your heart. Everybody has a position that they need to take. Everybody can't be a attack dog. Everybody can't be nice. Everybody can't be braggadocious. It doesn't work for everybody. Everybody has to play their particular position, because if you're trying to be something that you're not, you just come off as a fraud. So that's who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump been talking like this since from way back when I first heard him. He's always talked trash and exaggerated and did that. So he's just being who he is. He's not exaggerating. At least he's not doing, when he talked to a minority crowd, he's not doing like Kamala Harris or AOC or Hillary Clinton. He's not doing like they do with a fake accent. So he must be a little comfortable in his own skin then. So you got to just remember, you cannot try to be everybody's friend, and everybody can't do what Donald Trump did. That ain't for Donald Trump. Ron DeSantis has done a great job in Florida, and that ain't his thing. That ain't Marco Rubio thing, but even though Marco Rubio does a great job. Now, I'm going to say this. Out of all the people that Donald Trump had, I think Stephen Miller is pretty good. The J.D. Vance is pretty good, the way he talks and stuff. But I don't know anybody who answers questions better than Marco Rubio. I just don't. I'm not saying he may be the nominee. If you let me pick between J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio, the choice is clear for me. I'm picking Marco Rubio. But I said that, I remember when DeSantis was running, and I told all the DeSantis people that he shouldn't run, he's not going to win. But if DeSantis ran right now, I wouldn't be absolutely opposed to Ron DeSantis. And I'm saying that just being fair. And I'm not a big Ron DeSantis fan, but I got to give a man credit. In my personal opinion, this is my personal opinion. Since I've been keeping up with politics for about 30 years or so, because I didn't pay much attention to it before, first 30 years of my life, but the last 30 years I've been paying attention to it. And if I go back and look at history, even before I started paying attention to it, I can't think of no governor in the history of this country who's done a better job than Ron DeSantis. And I'm just saying that. I just like to give credit where credit is due. I don't even have to like it. If you do the right thing, I'm going to say it. I think Ron DeSantis has done a better job than any governor I've ever seen. The way they got Florida on lockdown as far as Republicans are concerned. I know they lost that one little seat down there, but the things he's done down there, I wish he can do that as president. I think his domestic policies would be better than Donald Trump, but not the foreign. Well, some of the domestic thing, because what Donald Trump is doing in the foreign policies is actually helping us domestic, even though most people don't actually even see that. But Barack Obama and this crew right here, everything they stand for, notice they don't really talk about climate change that much. But when Barack Obama and when Joe Biden was in there, it's all they talked about. Now they're out here fighting for oil for Cuba.
The politicization of the criminal justice system.
I just can't believe these people be saying it. He said the criminalization of the Department of Justice.
The awesome power of the state. You can't have a situation in which whoever's in charge of the government starts using that to go after their political enemies.
Can't make this
or
up.
reward their friends, right? So another power maybe I'd say would be although this is in the Constitution, it's a little hard to change, but maybe don't pardon people who've given you a bunch of campaign contributions.
Can you believe this? Oh my Lord. Joe Biden whoever was signing for Joe Biden was doing preemptive pardons. And Stephen Colbert, the freaking candy licker he is. And when I say candy licker, I'm not talking about candy. He's such a candy licker that he's not even questioning. If a Republican had said this, so when Joe Biden's people was handing out these pardons like they were candy or something to all these people, preempted, it's usually pardon. I think this is the first time in history that people got pardons before they actually, quote, committed a crime. We had to protect them from that mean orange man. Sad.
Or investigating it.
Listen to the SEALs clapping back there.
So restoring some sense of the Justice Department being independent in making judgments about specific cases and prosecutions.
This Negro has talked, this freaking colored has talked for about 2 minutes and he hadn't said diddly squat. See, this is a prime example of somebody just using a bunch of words, but he's really not saying anything. And everything he is saying is a complete lie.
Yeah, I would consult with Eric Holder, with my attorney general all the time.
He would consult with Eric Holder. Hold on a minute. See, this would be a good time for Stephen Colbert, the candy licker. That's his new name, candy licker. It'll be a good time for the candy licker to come in and says, well, what about, since you brought up Eric Holder, what about Fast and the Furious? Wasn't Eric Holder allowing this gun running scheme to the notorious drug cartel of Mexico? Why don't you ask him that question since he brought up Eric Holder? Then Eric Holder get charged with contempt. He refused to testify, lied under oath about when he found out about the Fast and the Furious. He was lying then.
Around broad policy issues. But that's different than who do you charge, what case do you bring? Second thing is the military. Don't politicize.
He said don't politicize the military. He had queers doing drag shows.
As our military. As president, you are commander-in-chief. You are responsible for directing our military. But
boy, you talking about having a number done on us? For this sissy to be lecturing anybody is beyond me. Absolutely beyond me. Why my glasses so dang dirty? That's the American system, man. Speaking of foreigners, remember when we came on, we told you that the woman who probably committed treason was born in, she was technically born in India. This Pramila, whatever you said, Jayapal, whatever her name is, and the deputy chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, Ilhan Omar, was born in Somalia. Rashida was an anchor baby from Palestine. Sharik is from India. Ted Lewis from Taiwan. The chair, Greg Cesar, is an anchor baby from Mexico. And let's not forget that Barack Obama, we don't know if he was born in Kenya or wherever, but we know that he don't have a valid birth certificate. That's what we do know. And if you're gonna allow these kind of people to get in there, you know, the country's upside down. I saw a clip. Did you guys see the beauty pageant for Miss Vermont? Let me show you Miss Vermont. I went to Vermont, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not saying all the women there, but we saw a bunch of women that looked like Bernie Sanders. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not going to be ugly with it. This woman won Miss Vermont. Watch this.
He's contestant number 9. Enter inside.
They saying she won out of the other ladies. No offense. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but can we get serious? I mean, can we keep it 100 here? There ain't no way in the hell this woman won the beauty contest. It's supposed to be a beauty contest. Now, There's nothing wrong with the way the woman looked. I mean, to each his own. But all I'm saying is, if you saying she beat out the woman that was in second place right there, you're a filthy liar. Let's look at the two side by side. Do you really think this woman over here lost to this woman here? I mean, are you serious? But we got to be politically correct. I'm surprised it's even a woman. At first, I thought it was a dude. But they say it's actually a woman. Allegedly. Her name is Hannah. Not Hannah Montana, but her name is Hannah. In the red. She looked like, I think she probably could play like linebacker for the Chicago Bears or something. But she beat out the other contestant. Really. Now, they say this is a woman. I looked it up. All the things I found, they say Hannah was born a woman. Allegedly. But they can't define woman, so you never know. I'm just going by what, because I said it's got to be a dude. But they say it's actually a woman, was born a woman. Kind of look like a dude, but was born a woman. But how did he, she, or it win the beauty contest? I don't want to hear about global warming and all that, world peace. I'm sorry, this is not a brain contest. It's a beauty contest. Nobody says, let's see what your IQ is. This is what this is about. See, ever since we started that participation trophy stuff, we get this. They got men winning contests. They got obese people. She's not obese, but I saw another one, an obese woman won. They had a transgender one. Well, we losing the battle. She's acting like she's shot. Y'all ought to be ashamed of your damn self. Coming with this. This is perpetrating a fraud right here. Does anybody really think this woman won the contest? And how did she even get this far in the contest? Like I said, went to Vermont, and there was a lot of ladies over the age of 50 and 60 that looked like Bernie Sanders. It looked like Bernie Sanders with like dress on. Some of them had on overalls. And they said this woman is Miss Vermont. She may win in Miss America. Don't they got to compete after this to see who can be a Miss? This is y'all that represent y'all Vermont. In the real world, Vermont wouldn't stand a chance with this contestant. Now look at these women. You mean the one in the red beat these out right here? Come on now. Can we be serious? You mean the one in the red beat these two right here out? We got to stop this. Because if we can't get the most basic things correct, where are we as a society? How is this normal? I don't know when this started. It's almost like when they have the obese women being cheerleaders. When I went to school, they got what we would call the finest girls, and the majorettes and the cheerleaders were all in shape. They can jump, run. They was not overweight. No. You couldn't be in there. Now, I saw some college thing, and they had the majorettes. I thought it was obese commercial or something. How is this the majorette contest? Majorettes used to have to be like the upper echelon in beauty. Cheerleaders had to be, you couldn't be overweight and be a cheerleader not back in the day. Now, just anybody can do it. I mean, this is absurd. Next day, they be having, what's his name? What's that little guy name? I can't think of his name. I'll get Joe Biden. Joe Biden's gonna be Mr. Olympics next. It's supposed to be about muscles, but we're gonna grade on the curve. Joe Biden's gonna be Mr. Olympic, bodybuilder. Damn, well, this woman didn't want no Miss America. It's a joke. See, this is his whole thing with the whole melting of the pot. You know what's starting to irritate me though? You can be living in this country all your life, and somebody else can be in this country for 5 freaking seconds. And next thing you know, they getting all kind of benefits that you don't even get. Now, I want to bring in Candace because I saw she was whining. Girl, if you're going to be attacking everybody, you can't expect nobody not to throw a punch back at you. I said this before. Candace Owens has every right to question Erica Kirk. She has every right to question President Donald Trump. She has every right to question whoever she wants to question. And she can be as ugly as she wants to about it. She has every right to do that. But when people start punching back, you just got to remember, if you go start coming on here whining, because you've been attacking everybody, girl, ain't nobody going to feel sorry for Candace Owens. I'm sorry, they just not. Because this girl been ruthless, made a bunch of money off of it. Now she asking for donations. No, you pray for the rain, the mudslide going to come too. I'm going to see if I got the one with Candace. This is Candace saying that they're trying to destroy her.
And trying to go solo. And simultaneously, they're still running this game of trying to get the press to go after me, to go after my family. So when I say it has been a...
You've been going after everybody. I just don't think nobody going to feel sympathy for you, Candace. Like I said, she has every right to do it. I'm not one of those saying we got to stop her from talking. No, Candace Owens has just as much right to talk and speak as President Trump. She has every right to do it. Here's the problem. I always tell people, you have every right to say whatever you want to, but there may be consequences. So if you're going to start whining about it, I told people, there's people who do a bunch of stuff on the internet. Like, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen sooner or later. That Chud the Builder fella, I'm just going to tell you right now. And when he does it, I'm going to remind you, I told you, he going to go to the wrong neighborhood and try that tough guy act. Because I know some places he won't try that at. See, everybody's a badass. He picked the right ones to try to do it in front of people who ain't going to do nothing. Because the real ones ain't even finna talk to you. You come in with that crap. They're not finna even talk. If they start talking, that means they're not the real one. Because there shouldn't be no more conversation. You let them come to your hood and disrespect you like that. But Candace Owens says whatever she wants to online. And now there's pushback. People are suing. People are going at you and Laura Loomer. Y'all went after each other. So now Laura Loomer and some other folks are going in real hard. She's getting lawsuit after lawsuit. And now you're saying they're going after our family. You went after everybody's family too. You can't expect to get no sympathy. I'm sorry, but nobody's going to have sympathy on you.
A nonstop onslaught against my life. This is what I mean. And I do think it's time for us to share the documents so people can actually read.
Quit saying you're going to share. Just share the damn things. See, this is when I know you're bluffing. Whenever you keep telling me, I mean, Candace Owens has been saying since Charlie Kirk got assassinated that she was close to solving it. You've been saying that for a while. You're close to solving it. You haven't solved it yet. So I think you're just blowing smoke up your little supporters behind. Really.
Read the documents of what my family has lived through, because I feel like I should be doing a series like Surviving the Daily Wire.
Now she's whining. Girl, you don't went after everybody. You cannot whine when you go after everybody.
People don't understand what it's been like, and we have never played dirty back with them.
She's never played dirty? Oh, you just talking about the Daily Wire? You talking about everybody? Because you play pretty dirty now.
We have never. Everything they ever put together was a conspiracy theory in their own head.
That is interesting for Candace to say this. Everything that other people did was a conspiracy in their own head, but none of your stuff was a conspiracy. Now, I do got a clip of you contradicting yourself quite often here.
We don't play that way. We have genuinely, and I partially think that's the reason why we've been protected by them, and why conclusions like even the Brett thing happening, which they thought was a big.
Okay, that's what you said. Now here's Candace Owens. Let me see. Where's that? Oh yeah, here's her contradicting herself.
Burial. How come we haven't seen anything about his burial? We saw so much and then we saw nothing. And the reason that's like.
Now, she said, what about his burial? Piers Morgan gonna ask her about this, and she's gonna say she never said it. This is kind of what Tucker did the other day. Either they forget what they're saying, or they just stone cold liars.
Hush hush secret is because Charlie had a Catholic funeral mass.
He had a Catholic funeral mass? I don't think he had converted to Catholicism, did he? Now, Candace saying that she's converted to Catholicism, but she knows nothing about the Bible.
And he is buried in a Catholic cemetery.
But pre the meeting with Erica, you repeatedly questioned why we weren't being told where Charlie Kirk is buried, or even if he has been buried yet. Did you get those answers?
You have the wrong commentator who questioned that. I think that was Milo Yiannopoulos.
She said she never said anything about the burial. The first part of the clip shows her asking the question. Tucker said he never called Donald Trump the Antichrist. The clip clearly shows him calling Antichrist. I don't know how many times these people can contradict themselves like that. Meg Kelly, back in January, was talking about these Muslims need to be taken out. They dirty. You can't trust them. We put a video up of Meg Kelly saying it's great that Tucker is fighting for Islam. Whoo, these people. I don't know who paying them, but this is starting to be ridiculous.
You've never questioned, you've never asked where Charlie's buried?
Nope. But if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Meg Kelly said she don't realize that Candace did that.
Yes.
Of murdering her own husband?
She's accusing TPUSA insiders and other members of the right wing, including Seth Dillon, of being involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk. Yes.
It's just, I don't even know how to respond to it because it just never happened.
She said it never happened.
Realizing that nothing in Charlie's life was real. It's just something that keeps me up at night. Just nothing in his life was real. The assassination of Charlie Kirk was something akin to a regicide, right? The assassination of a king.
See, when you like to talk so much and you're so arrogant, you'll keep sticking your foot in your mouth, and then when somebody questions you, act like you never said it.
To install a new ruler who the king would have never approved of. It's so crazy.
She has accused us of lying about Charlie wanting Erica to take over for him if he died.
Never happened. And it just so happened that Charlie Kirk kept notebooks and diaries. He was so diligent that he wrote down his succession plan featuring who he wanted to.
Who did he want? Did he want your husband? Because I heard your husband wanted to be the head of the Turning Point USA.
Take over for the organization in the event of his untimely death. Like, you know, in the third notebook, he was like, oh, and if I accidentally get shot on campus, here's what you should do. Call Erica, and then after you call Erica, come find this notebook. And if during this process of our imagination, common sense comes on and we're like, oh, but wait, Charlie? Wasn't he like a boy genius? He's a pretty bright kid. Wouldn't he have maybe formalized that succession plan outside of like a diary? But no, he wanted to put it in.
Now, you remember she was saying that she was a genius at a young age. Charlie was a genius at a young age. What I tell you, I don't think they remember what they be saying.
Notebooks. And then the plan was to guilt us, I think, to try to haunt us with the ghost of Charlie's notebooks that we're never going to be allowed to read, but we're supposed to accept that they most definitely read. Like, for sure. Never happened. I knew it was big. I didn't have the players. I
don't know, man. I don't know if Candace Owens just losing her mind or something or what, but she'll just keep on just changing. Her, Meg Kelly and Tucker, if you listen to them in one interview, especially if it's an interview. Now, if you listen to those, I can't listen to the whole shows, but if you listen to some of the show, inside the show, they'll contradict themselves inside of 10 or 15 minutes or whatever. If somebody's interviewing, they will deny. They keep, now she's asking for money. She's like a TV evangelist. Wants to know if y'all can send us some dough for the love of money.
This lawsuit, we got an estimate this weekend from a legal team. It is going to cost us millions. I don't have that money. I really don't. I got to tell you, like, the estimate that we got, and I want to be clear, this is if it goes all the way through. So they said, like, from start to finish, if they don't drop this at some point, blah, 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 here's how much it's going to cost you just to get through the deposition phase, how much it's going to cost you to go all the way through. And they are estimating $5 million. It's like a lot of money. And we do not have that money just laying around.
Wait a minute. Ain't your husband, let me see what they said, the net worth of, hold on a minute. Let's see what the net worth of Candace's husband, because I thought his daddy was filthy rich, so at least that's what I heard. Net worth of let me see if I can pull it up here. According to this, he used to be the CEO of Parler after it collapsed. That's a little suspicious. See, he inherited the family fortune. They're not telling you his price. Why is it not showing? Wait a minute. I want to go. Let me go over here to try something else. I don't like that answer. Let's see if it's showing. Now, they said George Farmer, husband of Candace Owens, has an estimated net worth of $150 million to $240 million. But you say you don't have the money. Well, according to everything I just read, y'all got plenty of money. Now you want somebody else. You started a crap. You want somebody else to pay for it.
So I thought we could actually sell some T-shirts. I just picture people wearing this like at the grocery store, like walking by each other, and like we know what it means, like hashtag free Emmanuel. I'm not kidding. The estimate is millions of dollars.
She says that it's gonna cost $5 million. Well, Candace, the last year or something, you done made a bunch of money off your podcast and everything. Plus your husband got a bunch of money. And now you telling you want your supporters to pay for your lawyer fees that you created. You started the fight with Bridget Macron. Everybody else said something about it, but you went in, made a whole series out of it. Then you went on Erica Kirk. And you have every right to do that. I'm not saying she don't have a right to do it, but what I am saying is if you do it, don't expect people not to punch back. It's easy if you in there just hitting the punching bag, you may say like, well, I could be a boxer. But when you put somebody in the ring with you, the punching bag don't punch back. But if you got another opponent, they punch back. See, you didn't want to pick the fight with everybody. You done dug all kind of ditches for everybody. You done talked as much trash as you want to talk, and you have every right to do it. See, I'm adamant she has every right to do it. What I am saying is that nobody's gonna feel sympathy for you, Candace. They're just not, because you been too nasty with it, and she don't let it go either. I mean, she makes whole series out of people's lives, and now you want somebody just to leave your life alone. Whatever they're digging up stuff about your husband being gay, his DWI before he got his green card, it's almost like he paid you to marry him, because that's a little suspicious. 15 days or something, y'all knew each other, y'all got married. She went over there for that, so I don't know. But I don't think nobody's gonna feel sympathy for Candace Owens. She's saying they're chasing her after.
To go solo, and simultaneously they're still running this game of trying to get the press to go after me, to go after my family. So when I say it has been a nonstop onslaught against my life, this is what I mean. And I do think it's time for us to share the documents so people can actually read the documents of what my family has lived through, because I feel like I should be doing a series like Surviving the Daily Wire.
I'm gonna tell you one thing she is good at. Candace is good at propaganda. She really is good at propaganda, because you can go back with the Brexit, the Blaxit, and she's good at propaganda. Every place she goes, She knows how to sell herself, and she make her people believe her. People get upset when you say something about Candace Owens. Now, Candace can say anything she wants to. Listen, she got receipts. Well, no, she don't. She's contradicting herself left and right many times. She may be right on some things. I'm not saying Bridget Macron may not be a man. I don't know. It is a little suspicious, though. Bridget Macron is a little suspicious. But Candace, a lot of people said that. I said that about Michelle Obama. But when you keep going in and you do series and get paid off, you monetize it, eventually somebody will say, okay, enough is enough. Everybody has a breaking point. You can push and push and push until somebody say, you know what? Let's attack her. Now, here's the messed up part. They're going to make you file Chapter 11, Candace, because these ain't the only couple of lawsuits you're going to get. They're going to flood you with lawsuits. They're going to make you spend some of your husband's money. I'm telling you, this is how they break you. But I can't say it ain't your own fault, though, Candace, because you be going in hard on people. And if you're going to go in there hard on somebody, and I think you'd kind of met your match with Laura Loomer, because she likes to go in just so she'll jump off a cliff with you. I mean, both of y'all jump off the cliff together. It's been a thing of beauty. Now you got to do all these. You got to do your podcast. Then you got to do the legal stuff. They're gonna weigh you down. They're gonna grind you down. Now, who's taking care of them babies when you're doing it? Because I think you were saying that same thing about Erica Kirk. Who's taking care of the babies? You got 4 babies, don't you? Erica Kirk has 2. So you pick the fight. Sometimes when you pick a fight, you know, as I say, when you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too, because it may be a mudslide. Just saying.
Don't understand what it's been like, and we have never played dirty back with them. We have never, ever.
She's never played dirty. Girl, you need to stop. See, this is not a good look for you, because it looks like you're whining now. See, you got to go ahead and just take your medicine. You threw some good shots at Laura Loomer. Do some good shots at her. You said she used to be on that cocaine. You said about Laura Loomer that she wanted to commit suicide. And this is true because it's on video. But if you're going to go in that hard on somebody else, eventually somebody's going to go in that hard on you. And once they find your weakness, they're going to keep on hammering on it. So you got to be willing to pay. If you're gonna talk as much trash as Candace and talk, don't expect nobody to feel sympathy for you now. Because you guys look. I mean, look at the way Meg Kelly talked about Donald Trump, and she said he shouldn't call names. She called him a lousy husband. I remember, I think it was in January, Meg Kelly was telling you how dangerous and perverted the Muslims was in Iran and all this. She even bragged about Donald Trump taking them out. And now. So everybody's flip-flopping. Tucker's flip-flopping. Everybody's flip-flopping. But we'll stay abreast on this. We'll let you know what's going on with that. We'll try to keep you informed. If something pops up tomorrow, we'll go live and cover it. But I think you're being exposed, Candace, whether you want to or not. I think they're exposing you. You got to be careful what you keep on instigating. Eventually somebody's gonna punch back. But we got to get out of here. I said I was gonna try to get in a little bit earlier tonight, but I couldn't do it. I don't know what time I'm gonna do it. We're gonna do it tomorrow, because a lot of times during the day I don't know how my schedule is gonna work out. So we'll have to see on tomorrow. But until tomorrow, God bless you.